This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Psych! Wes is on his way. He's en route home after calling the USCB baseball game along with Max Arraj, who is with us tonight. JJ and Max setting sail on the Friday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Not the last one this week, because we're going to do it tomorrow night and Sunday as well. Round up the final two rounds of the RBC Heritage presented by Boeing, which is of course the kind of the big news of the day here in the Lowco with the PGA Tour making its annual stop here at Harbortown. I was out there most of the afternoon, and we got in a dogfight, man. We got four guys at the top. JT Poston, who was in the lead after yesterday, shot 3 under today to get to 11, along with Tom Hoagie, Sepp Straka, and Colin Morikawa, who kind of has struggled this season, but made a big return to form last week at Augusta and has carried it over into this week. Feels like he's not hitting it that well, but he's scoring, and he's right there at the top. Patrick Rogers, Ludwig Oberg, and Mackenzie Hughes one shot back, and then Patrick Cantlay made a charge today. He and Sahith Tagala are at 9 under, 2 shots back, and then Scotty Scheffler shot a 65 today, 6 under, and he and Byung Hyun An are tied for 10th. So, and then there's a bunch of big names lurking just beneath them on the leaderboard too. So it's going to be a great weekend at the Heritage, and we got a buddy to talk about it with us, as well as a little baseball. You know him from the Lowco Diamond Dudes, Ned Mullis. Butch, what's up, buddy?
How are y'all?
Welcome back to the Lowco Network. It's been a minute since
the most important thing. Look what I got.
What's that?
I got my gnome.
Oh, nice. Is that a Ned Mullis gnome?
No, it's the Heritage, the Harbortown.
Heritage gnome.
Got to get there early to get those.
The Christmas gnome. All right, you putting that on the dark web for sale?
That's my mother-in-law.
Oh, we got love.
Favorite son-in-law
from,
right now.
Carlo Perusa, as usual, giving Max his nightly love. And there's Wes. What's up, buddy? Welcome, Wes. Gang's all here. Talking with Mullis, just got him in here. But Mullis, you've been down at Harbortown all week. You always help out with the maintenance guys, and what do you do? Cut a little fairways, and you just feeding them now. You off the tracker?
Pretty much just help out. We get all the vendors bring in food, or we cater food all week, and just make sure that the different manufacturers, Bear, Syngenta, all your big manufacturers, they take care of lunches and everything for the crew. So just kind of setting that up and making sure everybody gets what they need when they need it, and keep them going.
It's all hands on deck. There's all kinds of little jobs being done back in the nooks and crannies of Harbortown that people don't even know about that make all the ships.
Yeah, lunch is well, put it this way, with the maintenance guys, lunch is at 9 and dinner is at 3. So just to let you all know what the hours they're working on this week.
And they are in bed now. They've been snoring for a while.
We hope some of the interns might be out
quarter deck.
Might be venturing a little bit.
But it's been beautiful out there this week. Golf course looks just absolutely incredible. And the golf has been terrific as well. 4 guys at 11 under, a couple more at 10 under, a couple more at 9 under. But the course is kind of shown a little bit of teeth in the afternoon at least, and nobody ran away this afternoon.
We had this conversation with the PGA Tour agronomist today. That golf course is, if it doesn't get wind, it is what it is. Right. But guess what? So's Pebble Beach.
Yep.
They like double up when they don't have wind either.
Right.
So, the old course at St. Andrews, they light that thing up too when they don't have wind.
Yep.
So, the defense is in the wind, and hopefully they'll get a little bit more afternoon and see what happens.
Well, the leaders all have to play in the afternoon the next 2 days, which is
that
changes the metric a little.
That's what makes champions, though. I mean, they're putting them at the toughest time periods of the day, and puts the pressure on them. But the players who went in the morning certainly made hay, and glad they were able to really climb the leaderboard. But it is, I mean, we talk all the time. You can't control the weather leaderboard, but You can't be upset about this leaderboard that's up there. I mean,
No.
you got Colin Morikawa, one of those 4 tied 11 under alongside Sepp Straka, JT Poston, Tom Hoagie. But I mean, the names right there: Patrick Cantlay, Scotty Scheffler, the big one, of course, at 8 under par.
Where did Xander finish today?
He's not too far back. He made 2 eagles on the front 9. Where'd he end up at? He's 6 under, so he's 5 shots back.
He
shot
shoot
7 under? He shot 7 under.
7 under. Yeah,
he's
much better day for him.
Yeah, he's getting ready to. He's gonna make a move.
He is. He made 2 eagles on the front 9, one at 5, and then he chipped in for one at 9. And then birdied 10, 12, and 15, and had a couple that he could have made coming in. So I think I think he's coming for sure. He's going to be in the mix. I mean, he's already in the mix.
I mean, who isn't? I mean,
right. I mean, that's the thing.
Really, seriously.
Well, I looked at you guys might find this interesting. I looked up last year just out of curiosity, the last couple of years. And last year, after 36 holes, Fitzpatrick was at 6 under, and he was 6 shots off the lead. Jimmy Walker was 12 under. He shot 2 65s.
Oh yeah.
He faded to T25 at 9 under, but Fitz shot 11 under over the weekend, and Spieth went -7 the first 2 days, -10 the second 2 days. 2 years ago, Cantlay had a 3-shot lead after 36 holes, ended up losing a playoff. So 36-hole leader has not traditionally meant a whole lot here, but it certainly can. It's better to be on top than anywhere else, right? But of those 4 guys, none of them has like burned it up both days. They've all been like solid. I mean, they kind of burned it up, I guess. 65 and 66 are pretty hot golf, which Straka and Morikawa both swapped 65s and 66s. Poston had the real low number yesterday, and then didn't make quite as many putts today. Felt like he hit it about the same and was all over it, but just didn't make as many putts. So, I think any one of those guys could hang around. Morikawa and Poston probably more than the other 2. Yeah. But I'm looking for somebody to make a big move on Saturday, and there's a lot of candidates.
We'll see someone really separate themselves tomorrow? Or do you think it's going to be?
No, I think somebody like
to the line. It's going to go down the line. Seriously, I think.
Well, we're supposed to get weather in the afternoon, right? Maybe.
I believe we might. I think so. Let me take a look.
Mullis is the meteorologist.
I don't know. They're finishing early because they got that women's major. They're trying to flip flop with. They've been getting finished. They've been getting done about.
Now there is some rain expected on Sunday, 50% chance.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain pretty much all day Sunday, I think.
That could be interesting.
Well, not all day, but like
the interesting thing to me is are they going to test that theory of is Schefter got a little of that tiger in him where people start to fade when they get around? Right? He starts getting up there.
I wonder about that too.
And he's gonna go off early tomorrow. He'll be because he didn't finish till late, so he won't.
He goes off at 110.
So he'll be 4.
And then the leaders go off at 2.
So that's 3 or 4 groups. He'll be out
there. 4
there,
groups between them.
He might post a 5 under on that front.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I think
somebody certainly could. I mean, like Spieth goes out at 1140. He could go out and throw.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I think Schefter might be scaring him a little. Well, you never know. But God, it looks like he's closing on him when he gets up.
Yeah. I will say everybody who's asked them this week, and it's been a common question, from the golf writers who have to like create narratives and stuff. Boy, he's really separating himself, isn't he? And they're all like, "You think?" Yeah. So they've definitely taken notice that he's kind of on another level right now. So I know exactly what you're meaning about that Tiger and Sunday Red thing.
And that looked like a
you start hearing roars, from up ahead on the course, and you start getting nervous.
That looked like a real easy 66 today. I mean, that looked like he just.
Yeah.
I mean,
he straight up said he felt like he left a few out there today.
And did anybody see that shot that guy hit on 15? Did y'all see
Which
that
one?
shot he hit over the trees on 15?
Oh, Scheffler?
No, I didn't.
No, I walked up there just as he had gotten up to the green, and so I got to see him hit the putt, but I didn't get to see him hit the shot.
That shot was
Or the
incredible,
roar.
and they had they had 2 or 3 views of it, and to hike a 3-wood right up over the top of those trees is amazing. I mean,
Unfortunately, we're not permitted to show the video, but anytime somebody goes up over those trees on 15, I'm impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always think of Battle.
You know, he hit he hit driver down there, and then it's almost like he hit it too far down to get the 3-wood over it.
It was playing long today too. Guys were having a hard time getting there. Not a lot were getting eagle tries there.
And then some of the changes they've made to that golf course are phenomenal. That new tee for 2 is great. The new tee for 5 is great.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't put the new tee for 7 in play this week yet, but have y'all seen where that thing is?
Mm-mm.
It's
been out
over behind the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
really?
That hole can play like 220 yards now.
Holy cow!
And they haven't put that in play all week, which I thought I saw them practicing from there earlier in the week. So they're going to go from back there one day.
Yeah.
They've done a great job with that golf course.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's and with the parking, switching the parking up.
Yeah, that was genius.
Oh god,
was the best change ever.
But we
just breeze down there now. Yeah, I know, but I can't get over it every day. I'm so happy. Every day I drive down there, I'm just so happy. It's so easy.
I mean, especially you going in straight into Sea Pines. It's like it's just so quick to get in there now. I mean, there's still a little bit of traffic, but it's not bad at all. And then once you get past the gate, it's a nice ride over to the media lot. I mean, it really works out perfectly. You can get in and out very quickly, and that's kind of what you hope for.
They're killing the game in Arnie's Cafe too.
They are indeed.
It's better than a regular day. It's better than a regular work day.
Right?
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. I don't know what Scotty Scheffler
didn't really struggle for par too often today. I felt like I was attacking the golf course pretty well, and
I made a bunch
was
of
able to post a good number.
I couldn't remember which one this was. That was a boring one. All right, there you go. Scotty Scheffler. He doesn't say a whole lot anyway. He's kind of a kind of low key guy. He doesn't.
I know he's a big guy. He's a big dude. Yeah. He doesn't. I mean, it doesn't come off the same way on TV. I mean, he is a. That is a him and what's his Alberg too. Both those guys are athletes.
Those are big dudes, man. Yeah, I remember watching.
I thought it was interesting. Oh, go ahead.
I think it was at the like watching the Masters. He kind of did a close-up shot, and I was just looking. I was like, dude's jacked too. Like it doesn't show enough. Like the dude is jacked. It's just a big jacked dude who can play. They're way better athletes than they get credit for. I'll say that when you see them up close, for sure. They're way better athletes than they get credit for. Even the guys that are a little huskier built, as you would say, like Shane Lowry, pretty athletic dudes. So there's your leaders. Yeah.
Got some guys. Oberg seems to really like this golf course.
Yeah.
First time playing here, but he's gushed about it. He said he really likes, thinking his way around a golf course and enjoys playing here. So I think he's a guy who will win here. If not this year, I think he's going to win here one day, especially if it stays elevated and the big names keep playing here,
I mean, you could go. Any of these guys are still
right.
Yeah,
absolutely. All these guys are.
The 3 favorites based on data golf right now. They like Morikawa at 15%, and then Oberg's second at 13.8, and then you get Scotty Scheffler. So those 3 favored. You got a couple of names right
that
there.
Checks out for me. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Morikawa is better chasing it down than closing, though.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. Well, and he's, he's a little shaky right now. And he talked about it post round about how, he's really been fighting it. And then last week, Monday, before the Masters, he and his caddy kind of figured something out that worked and started rolling with it. and it worked throughout Augusta, and it's kind of working this week. But you could tell there's some apprehension there, where he's not like entirely convinced of it yet, and so you wonder what'll happen if he has a couple wayward swings on the weekend. But he's working hard at the mental part of staying true to it and believing in it, and telling himself this is the way. But it'll be interesting to see if he can stick with it.
Yeah, I also like where Shoffley's sitting right now. I mean, he's sitting at 6 under. Like, that's a good spot to sit at through round 2.
Yeah, I can see him going 65, 65.
Yeah, me too.
Like where he's sitting right now, we know how this course plays over the weekend. Usually someone comes up through the weekend and just, kind of surprises everyone. Says, hey, where did he come from? And I kind of like where Shoffley's sitting, because he's sitting right in that area where, you could creep up on some of the players and say, surprise,
you get off a little earlier. Yeah, you get off a little bit earlier tomorrow and go out there and post
He could do that same thing as Schefter. They get out there and post a number. And
well, that's kind of what Fitzpatrick did last year. He was sitting at 6 under, and then he went and shot 63, in the middle of the day, and
you
got in the clubhouse
right in the middle of that thing. I mean, there's you got some horses.
Cantlay is, that dude always plays well here. I would not at all be surprised to see him in the final pair.
And Jordan Spieth too.
Yeah, Jordan Spieth seems like that guy who could post a good score early, because he goes 11:40. Justin Thomas is. Oh, that's a fun group. Those two are best friends, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas.
I mean,
that's a really good group.
Yeah,
they'll have good vibes too.
And we've gone 15 minutes and hadn't mentioned McIlroy.
Right? And he's tied for 12th.
He's sitting there too. Oh God, I love this year's been so fun to watch.
It's gonna be amazing.
The best part is about this tournament every year is there's always someone who comes out of the woodworks and just says, surprise, I'm here, boys, come and catch me now. And it's just like last year with Fitzpatrick, Fitzpatrick was sitting good going into round 3, and then all of a sudden he just goes dominant through
Moving
the weekend.
Yeah, Moving day, baby.
And you look at some of these players, and any one of these players could just come out of nowhere and shoot a 65 or even a 64 and just say, hey, I'm still here. I have a shot as well. I mean, but what I think makes this tournament so dangerous is that anybody you look at right now has a real good shot of, having a real good weekend and potentially winning.
If you're within 8 shots, I'd say you've got a chance to get yourself in the mix.
That's a good amount of guys.
A good chunk of the field.
5 for 20. So that's 29 guys that are within 8 shots. That's a pretty big group over there. I mean, I'm not going to give everybody much of a chance, but I mean, there are some guys who stand out. Shoffley at 6 under, keep an eye on him, and you just never know who will emerge out of this pack, because it's a deep loaded tournament, and we knew that only 69 players coming in. You're going to have talent up and down the board, and not to have the cut. You just never know if somebody gets hot and vaults their way up.
Yep.
We'll
find out tomorrow.
I love what they said about the course today, though. Yeah. I thought they gave that place a great compliment, and you don't see, you'll get somebody come every now and then. You'll get, some flash in the pan here and there, but for the most part, there's all-stars win that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and the biggest thing that guy said is you can't fake it around there.
Nope.
You gotta hit the shots.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is even when we've had the quote unquote flash in the pans, the Jose Caceres or the, I'm sorry, can't think of the guy's name right now. But we've had some kind of no name players win, but those guys played the heck out of that golf course that week to win it. So. It takes a special kind of player, definitely. But how about Lucas Glover today, getting the Order of the Palmetto? I took that photo on 16T. But Lucas got the Order of the Palmetto. They did it down at the Clemson Hospitality Suite, I guess, down at 18. I wasn't able to make it down there, but the highest civilian honor, I believe, that is bestowed in South Carolina. I got to cover one of those deals years back when Smokin' Joe Frazier got it down at the Beaufort waterfront. That was pretty cool. But Lucas honored today, and Lucas has been a great ambassador for South Carolina golf, South Carolina junior golf, and U.S. Open champion, of course. And he's doing something cool right now with the Recharge the Sarge campaign through the Birdies for Charity and matching donations from other players to get that golf course, rehabilitated. And you played out there, Mullis, the Sarge?
Oh, what, lately or
many times?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey man,
around the Sarge time or two.
Damn good. Hey, don't everybody picks on that place. There's been pretty good golfers come through the Sarge.
Hey, I ain't picking on the Sarge. I love the Sarge, and there have been some damn good golfers.
All the Nimmers cut their teeth out there. I mean, they're pretty good players come out of that place.
Puggy Blackman had something to do with it at some point, didn't he?
I don't know. It's not. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it is a lot of fun. And I mean, they need a little bit of it. Needs a little TLC, but
and that's exactly what they're trying to give it. Yeah, but very cool stuff that they're doing with Congaree and Lucas.
Yes, I played the Sarge.
Well, it was kind of a rhetorical question. Have you played the Sarge? I expected you to say, "Hell yeah, I played the Sarge." But it was rhetorical. I knew you had. Let's talk a little ball too, Mullis. Your Sharks have been playing good ball.
Sharks are hot. Sharks are hot.
Good squad you got over there. James Island coming up.
James Island's hot. James Island's hot too.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be. I'm gonna enjoy watching that series. It's gonna be a fun series, I think. I mean. You look at the James Island Bluffton game at Bluffton, like that was a 1-run game. I mean,
James Island their fifth guy.
Yeah, well, even then, but like still, they've had some close.
I mean, I'm not throwing any shade at Bluffton. I'm just saying that the depth of James Island's pitching staff is crazy.
Yeah, they have a lot of depth at pitching, and I mean, I watched Hilton Head Christian Academy play James Island in the HIT tournament, and both teams have some depth at pitching. And James Island still beat Hilton Head Christian by 2 runs, a very good Hilton Head Christian team. So I'm looking at, you look at it and you say,
I feel good about, I think we're just going to have to do our thing. We've got to play our game. I like these guys. They're pretty disciplined with their approach. They don't get outside of this is, I mean, there's, they 1 through 9, they just all seem to know their role and just, we don't have to, the best teams are self-policed. Is that the best way to put it? I mean, these guys have got some really good leadership at the top and, you hope they can go play well, but James Island is James Island. We gotta jump that hump. We got 1 more year to try to jump that hill and, or bar and, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings when they're gone out of the region. I promise you that.
I don't think it's gonna hurt anybody.
I gotta be honest with you. They do it right. I mean, when we hope we do it the same way. I mean, we want to be. We want them sitting up there saying, "Damn, they do it right too." Yeah. And those guys are. Man, Spivey's been around. He does a really good job with those guys, and we'll see 90 to 92 up there Monday night, and we'll see if we can grind him out and get him out of there and see if we can get in some of those.
You think you get Taj Monday night?
Yeah, we'll get Taj Monday night.
Yeah.
Because if they win Monday night, it pretty much effectively shuts it down.
Right.
Then the Beckham game, we'll be playing Beckham for the 2-3 on Thursday.
Right.
So, but either way,
is tiebreaker on those going to be?
I don't even
aggregate runs scored in those games. Like if you end up split.
I remember we got into a tiebreaker on this thing one year. It ain't what you would think it would be.
You don't want to get into.
Yeah, you just
flip a coin.
And it's not like it used to be, where you used to get a definitive advantage by being the 3 seed.
Right.
because you used to get like what the North Augusta crowd over there, and no offense to them, but
the depth of the region wasn't.
And then the 2 seed was getting somebody from Myrtle Beach, and that's pretty damn good region over there. Like the 4 out of Myrtle Beach is usually pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not, now you got, they switch Flora and those guys.
Right. Yeah, and they rotate it around, right? Every year, theoretically, at least. So.
And how about that, we were talking about that region. Think about that region that Buford's playing in right now. I mean, Buford's pretty good. Philip Simmons is pretty good.
Right.
Hanahan's
pretty good.
Hanahan's pretty good.
But then Battery Creek and North Charleston are.
Yeah, but I mean, you get a little respite. But I mean, those guys, James Island beat Hanahan 13-3 the other night too. So that was.
Now your region next year is going to be.
It's going to be good.
Rough.
Region.
That's going to be
really
a tough region.
It's going to be
Bishop England coming in, Beaufort coming back, James Island and Lucy.
It'll be interesting to see. And I don't want to piss anybody off from James Island, but it'll be interesting to see if Bishop England turns into Bishop England again.
Right.
When James Island goes to 5A.
Bishop England is at 4A. Yeah.
Yes. And
it will be interesting to see
because
and also Oceanside staying down.
They're 3A, right?
They're 3A, yeah.
I think they're bumping up to 3A from 2A.
Right. But still, I was surprised that they only went to 3A. I thought they would go to 4A.
4A, yeah.
The thing about James Island is, you're building a baseball factory over there, but anybody anybody in Charleston County can go.
Yep.
And I mean, it's not that hard to get to James Island High School.
Yeah.
And, you were getting a lot of kids that were going to Bishop England back in the day or just saying, hey, we'll just save the money and we'll go over to James Island.
Right.
And, but now you're going to have to, that's big boy baseball up there, boys.
Yes, sir.
Stratford and Ashley Ridge. I mean, we did this with Bluffton
and Somerville and Berkeley and
when
West Ashley.
When Will was in 8th grade, my son was in 8th grade. I mean, we went through that gauntlet. And when you're Fort Dorchester one night, you're Somerville the next. You're, it's big boy baseball.
Yep, absolutely. What else, boys? You got any questions for Mullis before we let him go to bed?
Come up with something.
It's great to see you. Your overall thoughts on this baseball season and what you're seeing out of this region in general. We talked about, May River, but it's been a tough year for Bluffton. They've been competitive. They just haven't gotten the wins. Hilton Head, has shown some good quality signs, but I still don't think they're, at that same tier as May River is. And then, the Sharks are in contention, and I'm pumped for next week. But just overall, what you're seeing with this region, baseball-wise, and the guys that have, really impressed you out there.
It's how do I say it diplomatically? Some transfers hurt some people. Some dudes hit the portal.
Yeah.
And maybe got a little NIL money. Nah, I mean, I'm joking. That hurt, that hurt some stuff. I mean, the region's not, look, I'm not even going to be really diplomatic about it. I've coached in skis and I've coached in the high school league. And what skis is now ain't what it used to be. And it's, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody. I think Christian can play with anybody, but that team that they got over there, they should win.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good baseball team, and they should win. And those guys were put together to win.
Yep.
They didn't develop that thing. They put that thing together to win. And, that's a little bit different to me. When you do something like that, I think you need a little different set of expectations. I'm sorry. But, with the guys.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The guys at Hilton Head, man, what they're doing over there, those guys, that's a good staff. They're bringing those guys along. The Larson kid's phenomenal.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think this might be. I know Kitty ain't got the wins for it, but this might be his best coaching job I've ever seen him do. And that team competes, they fight, they look like they've got an approach. You just hate for him that, because I think this was going to be a really good deal for him. But like I said, they got hurt with some transfers and a couple of injuries, and that's tough to overcome when you can't go into portal. And, Buford, golly, I watched Buford play the other night.
Yeah.
There is a lot of talent in that lineup.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know what they got going on over there. I mean, they look like they play really good and really, they kick it around a little bit. Some they walk too many people, but if they get this thing figured out, they're going to be a tough out because they got arm after arm after arm after arm too. And and then Justin and I were laughing. The 9-hole guy hit one 390 the other night.
Gunnar Hollins were just
speaking of the portal, where'd he come from? And
he's been a couple places. He's been
that kid's a good player, man. He's hitting in the 9-hole, and
I may have played a little men's.
Yeah. Well, you know why? Because that's a man. He can play in the men's league.
He's hitting some out in the men's league too, so I wasn't all that shocked when I saw him go yard. But I'll tell you, I mean, as a testament to the respect you have for their lineup, the Sharks were still nervous when it was 9-2 the other night after he hit that home.
Man. And then
you're getting guys hot in the bullpen.
I was kind of proud of those guys too, though. They, we threw a bunch of guys this week, and just the future's bright. Max, you saw Max at the Heritage. Max is coming off some arm problems. He, and let me tell you, when you get in the playoffs, you're only as good as your third or fourth guy.
That's right.
I mean, the 1 and the 2s are going to do what the 1s and 2s do, but the 3s and the 4s are what's going to take you.
Yep.
And and then we brought a little freshman up, Trevor Conti, and
Micah Morgan too, another freshman.
Micah pitched. I was working when I didn't make it to that one, Micah, but I heard Micah was fantastic. He was really good. And he has. I'm gonna tell you, I've been around this game a long time. I've never seen a better pickoff move. That guy, he picked off 6 guys at Philip Simmons a couple weeks ago. I mean, it is not, and it's not a ball. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's Andy Pettit. It's Andy Pettit good. And
Andy Pettit, a move.
I mean,
that's a nice thing to have in your back pocket.
I took him the other day and I said, look, I don't care how long it takes you. I want you to teach Willie this move. Teach Willie. Y'all stand right over here right now and learn this move right now. And
Willie Corn's had a nice year as well.
Willie, I mean, look, man. I mean, you just are happy when it's happening for good kids. And you're valedictorian in May River High School. You've done something.
Yeah.
That's he's and Tyson's been great. Trace Michnick. I mean, we got a pretty long lineup too. And so I'm looking forward to it next week. I think they're about as ready as we've been to go up there and play those guys. So
yeah, man, should be good. Looking forward to it. Well, hey, I know you're heading out to Harbortown in the morning, but so we'll let you get to bed.
4:30 comes early, boys. 4:30.
Appreciate you hopping on, and we hope to see you out at the golf course tomorrow, buddy.
Yep, give me a call. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care, bud. Ned Butch Mullis talking golf and baseball with us. Good to have him back in studio. He's one of them guys who can talk about anything for as long as you want to. That's why we get along. But let's shout out some sponsors, fellas. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports start with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. She's with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry, and she'd love to help you find your place in the Lowco or find a better place in the Lowco if you want to put the house on the market. It's a great time to get into the real estate market, and Megan Jarrett would love to help you. She's my wife, and she's the official realtor of LowcoSports. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector, and the best in the biz when it comes to inspecting homes around here. Jan Lucas and his team will make sure you're making a great investment. And if you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection where Homegrown will check on it every step of the way and make sure it's being built right. Mickelson Law Firm is our official real estate closing attorney and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and their original sponsor since 2017. Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickelson squad have been supporting LowcoSports, so please support them when you have legal needs. And hospice care of the Lowcountry, official hospice provider and the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. And if you didn't get the Yacht Hop tickets, tough luck, sold out. Hope you got them, but going to be a great event for hospice care of the Lowcountry, raising money so that they can support all kinds of services they provide to our community, because in hospice care, it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors. We've talked a lot of heritage and a little ball. A couple other things going on tonight, little baseball. Barnwell 12-2 over Hampton. HHCA 10-3 over Augusta Christian. Northwood Academy walked off JP2 5-4. Softball, Barnwell swept Hampton County. Soccer, Hampton County beat Barnwell 5-2. The girls to improve to 7-1 in region. They split with Woodland. They're looking into the tiebreaker situation to see whether the Hurricanes are region champs or not. But they do have the aggregate score because they lost in a shootout and they won 2-1 in regular time. So I think you would think logically that would give it to them. Oceanside beat May River 6-0 boys soccer. And then the one you guys were at, Flagler 12-6 over USCB. So Sand Sharks are up against it, but USC Aiken.
Yeah, Aiken fell 9-6. So that was helpful, but you know, despite the lopsided loss, I thought that just the way they were able to pick up hits and produce on offense, they just couldn't. They had two really golden opportunities that they squandered early in the game, and that really was the difference in the final scoreline. They left the bases loaded once, and then the other time they got pick off at second. Galassi double, he was picked off, and then they looked like they're going to score that first run, and then third baseman for Flagler made an incredible diving play on a line drive right on the line third base side. So that robbed the Sand Sharks of a run, and then Flagler was able to get the offense going. They scored 9 runs in 9 unanswered runs in 2 innings. That was that pretty much. So I mean, it could have gone the other way, but just fortunately, Sand Sharks could not capitalize. And when you don't take advantage of the chance that you get in a game against a good team, you're not going to win. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, it's the other thing they had was defensive mistakes. I mean, 4 of them, four errors in this game by USCB. I mean, that was the other reason that they scored 9 runs in 2 innings was those defensive mistakes. And then you had a couple, you had an offensive mistake at second with Julian Galassi, which could have potentially been 2 runs there for USCB. And then, you look further down the line, they had 3 times with bases loaded. I mean, 3 times that they left, the bases loaded. And it's, well, I guess that third time they scored a few runs, but it just, you got the hits, you had the offense. It's just capitalizing on that, chance when you have runners in scoring position. And I mean, me and Wes talked about it throughout the game. We were like, they just cannot find ways to capitalize, when you have 1 or even 2 runners in scoring position, which they had a few times in this game. And I think if they could have capitalized on all those opportunities, we would have been talking about a much different game today. Even with those, I mean, defensive mistakes are one of the things that I think USCB is going to need to figure out how to fix before they go into tomorrow's game. Because, like we've said before, those defensive mistakes will cost you, especially against good teams here in the Peach Belt Conference. They will cost you and cost you greatly. So, I mean, if you look at this, it's just they played well offensively. They got the hits they needed to get. It's just they couldn't capitalize on those runs, and then the defensive mistakes were also a problem. So, like, if you can fix those issues, like towards the end of the game, I mean, at one point in the game, USCB scored 3 straight runs, and I was like, okay, here we go. They're coming back. And then, just Flagler just started hitting the ball well off of our relievers, and it just kind of got out of hand at that point. But I mean, ninth inning, you're able to score 3 runs in the ninth inning. I think that's something good for USCB. It gives them momentum going into that second game. So
that was with 2 outs too. They got a couple of walks and then it hit there at the end. But it kind of gives you puts you in good vibes. Though you lose the game at the end of it, you're still able to find some positives on offense and putting up double-digit hits against a strong Flagler team. I mean, that's doing something. Now, can you find ways to capitalize on and hopefully get a better start from your starter going tomorrow? Because
I think that's the thing. Like, if they can find that offense, like, I don't think they'll have any issues scoring runs on Flagler. Because what I saw today, I think they're close.
They could have put up 10. They could have 10+ runs today. Easily.
Yeah, they could have had 10+ runs today. Honestly, they could have. And it could have been such a different game against Flagler. I mean, they could have had that win with those
chances. Shoulda.
Loaded. Yeah, they could have, should have.
If they can come through tomorrow.
I've seen potentially Martin on the mound tomorrow. He was a Saturday guy.
He's been solid.
And his last few starts have been great. And that's what you need. You need a good first 5-6 innings of solid pitching, and then we kind of build on that, and then we'll see who gets game 3 on Sunday. Tucker Dove potentially. He's gotten some starts recently. He's 2-0 on the season, so he's provided some, and you got to lean on guys like that late in the season because Dove is your veteran. He knows how to get the job done when you put him in here. And when you get this late in the season, you got to turn to your best guys. And he's one of your best guys that he can, go through several innings and put up a good performance. So I wonder if they'll turn to him as a senior and someone who's just gotten better as his career has gone on. So I like Brandon Martin's chances of a strong start if they do go his way tomorrow. And then it's all that, can he put up some runs? And we saw the potential of a team that has looked more confident at the plate, but just you can't make those mental mistakes if it's base running or, if it's just unable to capitalize and just produce some quality at-bats, good situational hitting, and you'll give yourself a chance. And if you take game 2, and that changes everything, especially if you get some help from North Georgia again and put yourself in this, as I said at the end of the broadcast. All you have to do is win 2 series in a row.
Yeah.
You got to take the next 2, and then that'll at least give you a chance to, if you get 2 out of 3, you'll win and you'll get you'll overtake. And so just win 2 series in a row, which starts by winning the next 2 games in a row, and then win the next series.
Yeah.
But they would be 3 in a row because they just beat Claflin.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing I forgot to mention, Cam Demigian tonight. I'm trying not to be mean here. The first 2 innings he did really good. I was really impressed with how he pitched those first 2 innings. But that second time the batting order went around, it just, I don't know what it was. He lost a bit of his command, and they just started getting hits and walks off of him, and that's how it kind of snowballed into that 9-run 2 innings. And it was unfortunate because I was like, wow, Cam's doing really well today. And I thought he was going to be able to pitch lights out for the rest of the game. And it just, I don't know, something clicked that 3rd inning, and it just kind of started getting away from them. But if Martin's pitching tomorrow, I expect, he's done real well as of late. I mean, he's done phenomenal as of late on the mound for USCB. So I expect him to have a really good game, and I expect USCB to come out better. I think the moral of this game was, hey, we're getting those hits, we're getting those base runners. Now we have to get those base runners to home plate. I think that's kind of the moral of this game, like going into the next game, saying, hey, we have the base runners, we got bases loaded more than once tonight. It's just getting those runs in, and I think they can do that tomorrow.
Yeah, man, he did. He cruised through the first 2 and then just couldn't stop the bleeding in the 3rd. Just got away. That's tough because you'd think after rolling through one, gave up a hit in the first, then 1, 2, 3 in the second, and you're feeling good, and then just wheels come off. But that's baseball for you.
And that's baseball. Yeah.
That's baseball for you. They made the adjustment, having better at bats. So Sand Sharks still one game behind Aiken for that 8th spot. Aiken again playing North Georgia, which is number 2 in the conference.
They play 2 tomorrow. St. Sharks have the Saturday, Sunday. So
okay. So that advantage Sand Sharks. At least they know where they stand going into Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be able to see where we're going heading into Sunday if we can get a win tomorrow. Like we'll see where we're going there. But
Georgia got them 9-6 today.
Yeah. So here's the situation. So if USCB wins their next 2 games and USC Aiken loses their next 2 games, which that could or could not happen. If that's the case, we're going into next weekend's series both tied up for that last spot in the playoffs.
No, if USCB won both and Aiken lost both, USCB would be up a game. They're down
which
1 game.
Which really doesn't matter that much.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, up a game, down a game.
Well,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. But still, I mean, even
whoever wins the series is going to
give yourself a shot to win the series. Just give yourself a shot, and hopefully.
We don't need to go through all the scenarios. They'll play the games in the next 2 days, and then we'll see what happens.
Like we said, we've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. This is going to go down to that final series. Just the way it's looking right now.
They can use 7 pitchers today.
Yeah, they did. I'm kind of surprised by that, but I'm also not surprised because I have a feeling that they used some of their, I guess, less inexperienced.
Well, they fell behind early. They gave up 6 in the second, but then they got 2 back. They were down 6-3.
Yeah,
so they were very much in it, and then they tied it in the 5th. I think they were just Johnny Holstaff, and they trying to steal a win there.
Well, that could be interesting for the next, because they have a doubleheader tomorrow. That could be interesting.
I'm sure their plan was for Fletcher to go deeper than 1 2/3, but that didn't happen. So. Then Purvis went 3. So I mean, those 2 guys are probably burned, but everybody else could probably come back if they needed to. A couple guys only threw 9 pitches. They were, throwing guys out there with a short leash. Louis Smith pitched, THA guy, through 2/3 of the inning.
That's right.
Gave up a hit and a walk.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Doubleheader for them tomorrow. Wes, you're obviously going to be at the Senior Day celebrations tomorrow for USCB, and unfortunately I won't be able to make it, but I'll be back for the Sunday home finale against Flagler, and hopefully we can take the win in the series.
Yeah, it all starts with a good performance tomorrow, and I think it being Senior Day, that energizes this team to really put the best. Especially you got a big group of seniors too. You got like 11, 12 guys, so that's a lot of names who have made their contributions to this program, and it's cool to see them get a win for them and propel them hopefully closer to this Aiken team. And I mean, it's nice to know that you get the opportunity to kind of know what you need, but at the same time, I mean, you really want to win both. Sometimes,
Also, I forgot to mention, on a positive note for USCB, Brian Meyer had a fantastic night tonight. 3 for 4 on the night with a walk.
That's my guy.
He's heating up, and I like where this is the right time to heat up if you're Brian Meyer.
I think he's kind of an emotional leader too. So if he's going good, I think they're going good.
Right.
Right. Exactly. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign for USCB to see Brian Meyer hitting well in this series so far. So hopefully they can continue that tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Well, the St. Charles golf team was also in action today. Peach Belt Championships getting underway. The men actually shot a pretty respectable score, 295. It was only 7 over par, but they're in 8th out of 8 because everybody's good. North Georgia shot 277 to lead the way. So everybody's within 18 shots of each other after the first round, which is pretty crazy tight. Ellis Bright leading the way for USCB and tied for 14th with an even par. Aaron Williams and Eric Nord are both at 1 over. tough days for Nikolai Holm and Jan Sierk. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement individually for those guys. So hopefully the Sand Sharks can jump up tomorrow. The women are in 4th of 6 teams. They shot .313, which puts them 16 shots behind Flagler, which leads. Jessica Edwards tied for 2nd at +2. Ashley Mead tied for 13th at +7. McLean Neal and Manon Tortelier tied for 17th at +8. And Jennifer Larson, 25th at +12. So Sand Sharks looking to move up tomorrow.
That must be a really tough course, by the way. That must be a super tough course out there in Augusta.
Well, I don't know. Somebody from North Georgia, guys, shot 6 under. So there was a 6 under, a 5 under, and a 4 under. You know, so there are birdies out there.
Good scores are out there.
Sakurako Tanaka for Lander leads the women's at 1 under. So, I mean, those are pretty standard. You know, if you shoot around par, you're doing okay in college tournaments usually, but you usually have to go pretty low to win one.
Medalists.
Yeah. But so Sand Sharks will be at it the rest of this weekend. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports, DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties. So if you need help out there, call on them. They're also helping us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Loco. Reverence Wrestling Club is the presenting sponsor of Locos, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. And tomorrow is the Reverence Ironman over at May River High School. So if you didn't get registered, you know, I think it's probably too late for that. But if you just want to check out some cool wrestling, kids and adults, it's going down at May River tomorrow. Check it out on the Reverence Wrestling Club Facebook page. And Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor of LowcoSports, you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Those are our varsity sponsors. Gentlemen, what else do you want to chat about real quick before we wrap things up? What else do you want to talk about? Anything? Good?
Let's see here.
I guess we're good. I guess we're pretty good. We can just kind of, you know, circle back around to the Heritage, which of course is, you know, the big deal tomorrow, moving day at the Heritage. Weather looks good early and then chance of some thunderstorms in the afternoon, but you know, they do get out fairly early. They should be done by 6, so hopefully we can get it in tomorrow. And
seeing now, I'm don't put too much stake in this, but there is a chance of scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon tomorrow for Hilton Head, and storms may contain some gusty winds. So keep an eye on how things could look as you get
exactly later. The verbiage I read earlier may contain strong gusty winds. So yeah, it could be a factor. It also could soften up the golf course a little bit. It's starting to dry out a little bit and get a little crispy, and so they could start firing at flags after it rains. So, well, you know, that definitely kind of changes the outlook of the tournament and the way the golf course plays if we get weather. So we'll keep an eye on that. Always a bugaboo, the weather. But who you guys got? Who do you predict will be leading the Heritage tomorrow night when we get together?
I think.
Oh God, I gotta look at the leaderboard. Hold on.
Yeah. I really like how Morikawa was playing.
Yeah.
He started out red hot day one. Today posted a solid 5 under 66. So I think he's the favorite right now based on how well he's playing and just his prestige of, you know, performing well. Although we mentioned like maybe he doesn't do as well playing ahead or playing tied for the lead versus playing from behind. So there's always, you know, players who do well in those situations and some guys who kind of let the pressure get to them. So I'm interested in seeing how Morikawa does, but I think he's got probably the best shot to, if there is a sole leader, to be up there at the top. But don't count out Scotty Scheffler. That's the guy who could make that charge. And he said he left a lot of strokes out on the table. So he's down 3, but if he's able to put together a solid round, some other guys fall, then, you know, that's a guy looking at. And then Patrick Cantlay at 9 under. He's 2 back.
Yep.
He's
Yeah,
been beaten up. I mean, 5 under.
So which one are you picking? Who's going to be leading, Wes?
Morikawa was a safe
three.
bet.
Morikawa?
Morikawa's a
All
safe
right,
bet.
Morikawa. All right, Max, who's going to be leading the Heritage tomorrow night?
I like Scheffler. If I'm being honest, I kind of like Scheffler. Also, a dark horse for someone to move up a lot for me is Rory McIlroy as well. He had a good round today. Shot, what was it, 3 under? I think good solid round for him. I'm looking at him potentially having a really good 3rd round. But for me, I really like Scheffler being able to have a big round and potentially take the lead by the end of tomorrow night.
I like both of those picks. I wouldn't be surprised by any of the people that we've mentioned. I also wouldn't be surprised by Poston. I actually I don't know. I have a good feeling about Poston this week. I did from the start, and then he just seems really at ease. I mean, he does not, he's got a new baby, and he talked about how, it's going to be different. I don't worry about golf when I go back. I'm worried about changing diapers and getting, bottles ready and stuff.
Yeah.
And he just has a real ease about him this week that makes me think he might hang on and win this thing. But to be a little bit more bold with my prediction of who will lead tomorrow, let me go Oberg. Ludwig Oberg.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
But I like you said, Wes, the chances of a solo leader, I would say, are pretty unlikely.
Pretty slim,
based on how jammed up the top of the board is.
1 or 2 strokes.
Yeah.
Maybe not 2. I mean, I expect it to be tight. I don't think somebody's going to pull away. It's always possible someone gets a heater and posts a 63, 62, but I don't think it'll happen. It's going to be a close tournament.
If the conditions allow for somebody to shoot 63, other people will shoot 64 and 65 and keep themselves in it. So I think there is a chance for us to have a really compacted leaderboard at the end of tomorrow if we get calm, good conditions in the morning, leading into early afternoon, and then storms start to kick up. And the wind starts to blow and swirl as the storms are blowing in and guys are having to play the back 9 in some wind, then, the leaders could back up a little bit to guys who jumped up early in the day. And we could really get a wild, jumbled leaderboard where it's just a free-for-all on Sunday in the rain. So it's shaping up to be a really fun finish. And definitely we've thrown 3 names out there and then plus about a dozen others that could all be leading this thing tomorrow, and none of them would be shockers. So should be fun. Looking forward to getting out there. You fellas will be on the baseball call tomorrow night for the Sand Sharks or tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock?
Wes will be. I won't. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wes on the call, 2 p.m. on the Sand Shark Game Day Network for USCB baseball against Flagler. So you can check that out on your other screen if you're sitting at home watching the Heritage. And let's shout out the Lowco Booster Club. We got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court. They're with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Don't you wish you were here right now? I mean, it's Heritage Week. Revive Rehab, Women's Health, and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. If you've had a baby and you need some help feeling right, Dr. Ali and Dr. Jen can help you out. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets and all kinds of other stuff. Go over to their showroom on Argent Boulevard to see what all they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can always find some spicy conversation to go along with the great style at Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, Chris Odom, getting your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Don't live with dirty floors. Call Chris Odom. So fellas, you shot anybody out tonight before we called it out? Calling it a night? Who you got, Wes?
I'll go with Brian Meyer. Had that 3-hit game. He was excellent, just continuing to provide offense and get on base. And it's really cool to see him continue to be that leader and that spark plug for a team that is young. They've got some guys up and coming, but he's been that steady guy who what you're gonna get from him. Like, he is going to be a guy who delivers from time to time at the plate, but also has that vision to get on via walks. And he's just, when you put him in the outfield, he just does not make mistakes fielding wise. He's just quick and does a great job of making the plays he needs to make, and then consistently find a way to produce on offense. And even when he has those off games, he's gonna make you work for it. And so that's a great leader to have on your team. And I feel like he's gonna put together a big afternoon on his senior day.
Yeah, I love Brian Meyer. He's also one of the better USSSA umpires in the Savannah, Georgia area. He's a great dude. I've gotten to spend some time and talk with him a lot at youth tournaments when he's umpiring, and he's a fun guy to be around, and just a really vibrant personality, and definitely gonna miss watching him play for the Sand Sharks. Max, who you shouting out, buddy?
Give me Steel Bird.
Oh, I thought I was going to be able to steal that from you. You got me.
Yeah, he had 2 home runs tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
He did.
2.
He was 3 for 4 because their stats cut off, but I went and found the Augusta Christian one, and he was 3 for 4 with 2 homers.
Yeah, dude's a dog, man. He is so good. He's lighting up too. I think he was playing first base today as well.
He was, yeah.
He's getting back out on the field too. So good to see from Steel Bird. Dude was on a tear today. Holy cow, man! And it's kind of a tune-up game for them. They haven't really played all week, so a good tune-up game for them as they head into next week with 2 games before the playoffs begin.
Oh man, you stole my sneaky pick. I didn't. I thought maybe you hadn't checked the game changer yet, and I was going to sneak in there with a good one.
Well, Wes stole my pick. I was going to go with Brian Meyer, and then he called it out. And I was like, oh crap, I got to go find someone.
You got to find something else. All right, well, I got a good one for you. Hampton County girls soccer, Jada Giddings with 2 goals tonight. She had the brace in the 5-2 win over Barnwell. Also shouting out Brianna Sauls, Trinity Ginn, and Leslie Hutto with goals. Hampton finishes 7-1 in the region, and not known as or thought of as a soccer power by any means. And it's not the strongest soccer region, but they're 9-5 overall now, and 7-1 in region. They've outscored region foes 57-5. They split with Woodland in region play. So they're figuring out the tiebreaker, but I think they're going to be a 1 seed, which gives them a shot. I mean, when you're from one of the weaker regions, it's hard when you're the 2 and you got to play the 3 from a tougher region, even at home. But as a 1 seed, they got, they should have a good chance to advance in the playoffs, which would be awesome for them. So shout out to Hampton girls soccer. And we love our Hampton Hurricanes, Hampton County Hurricanes, Coach Hannah. And the coaches, Hannah, and the whole staff out there do such a great job. But, it is a good point differential. You get some of that in some of those regions. There's a couple winless teams that, you can hang 12 or 15 on in the night without trying. But anyway, great show tonight, fellas. Enjoyed it. And we'll have much to talk about tomorrow night, too. We're going to do it. That's right. We're doing Saturday and Sunday lowdowns this week to make sure we round up the daily action from the Heritage and whatever else is going on. So join us tomorrow night at 10 o'clock for another LowcoSports Lowdown, talking Heritage, USCB baseball, and whatever else we can round up from around the way. We got playoff lacrosse. Hilton Head at Lucy.
That's right, Hilton High.
We got USCB softball at Georgia College. And maybe we'll get Bracken on tomorrow night, talk a little. And the Stricklander wants to come on and update us on the Skiza baseball standings, so we can try to figure out what the playoffs might look like. So we'll do all that tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much to Ned, Butch, Mullis, the coach, for jumping on with us tonight. Talk a little golf, a little ball. Always fun to talk with him. Thank you to all of our sponsors who make all this possible. And thanks most of all to y'all for showing up to listen or watch. We appreciate you. And we'll see you again tomorrow night. For Wes Kerr and Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until tomorrow, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.